My name is Ashish. And today our presentation is going to be about 5 most important things on social media. So first thing, what is an online presence? An online presence is any existence of an individual or business that can be found via an online search. So an example of an online presence can be anybody who has a Facebook or even a LinkedIn profile. So first thing I'm going to talk about are the two articles that our presentation is going to be about. The first article is, what's your personal social media strategy? So the first article speaks about the connectivity due to social media. Social media is much more global, transparent, and much more interactive than it has ever been. We use Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up with the latest news. We use these popular networks to interact and communicate with our friends from anywhere, anytime. And then the article is also going to speak about embracing social media. So, social media is here to stay. It's not a fad. Use it to your advantages. Businesses are changing the way we use social media. It's gaining more and more popularity, and just embrace it. And then as for the second article is parents opting to keep babies off Facebook. This article speaks about how parents nowadays are choosing to not post any pictures or info of their kids online. Some parents find it very uneasy that they're able to have pictures of their children online for anyone to see. The article kind of speaks about some security measures parents are taking, such as not posting any pictures online. Also, some parents are turning to creating private websites for friends and family to access, and the only way to access those websites is through a password. And then lastly, the article is going to speak about having little control with personal data. So parents are now realizing when they use websites such as Facebook, Instagram, they don't have much control over their data when using these networks. A lot of times these private policies can be very confusing and very long. And then, so now I'm going to pass it on to Ashish, and he's going to talk about the three social leaders.
So Sean talked a little bit about the articles that we went over. There's three realms to social media leadership. Basically, it's what you're going to do and gain from social media. So there's three things: brand, engage, and learn. Brand, you're able to build an identifiable presence. You get your name out there. People know you. You know different people. You get to engage. Social media allows you to connect with people all across the world at the touch of a button. So you can interact and maintain relationships easily and easier than ever before. So it's a great method to engage with others across the world. You also get to learn. You get to gain knowledge from honest feedback, unvarnished feedback from people that you get to reach out to people all across the world, and you get feedback from all across the world on your ideas, your products, anything you can name, you get feedback on it. So those are the three realms of social media leadership, and we're going to delve a little bit deeper into it in the next slide. So the three realms of social media leadership has additional two components to it: in a personal setting and in a professional setting. So I'm going to be going over the personal setting first. In On the brand realm, individuals post beliefs and viewpoints to create an identifiable presence. So basically, you read an article online and you post it, you share it with your friends, thought it was interesting. You develop a brand by doing that. People comment on it. They get to know what your ideas and what your beliefs are. And in that sense, you're creating a personal brand. People are getting to recognize you, and you know, you're making your name more out there. Engage, reduce barriers, allow for communication with people from different cultures. So, like I said, you're able to engage with people from all across the world from different cultures, and it's easier than ever. And you're able to engage with these people on a personal level, um, just by you get to communicate with them, and it's a great experience to engage with different people all across the world. So the third realm is going to be learn. In a personal setting, like you posted a video or a article, people are gonna comment on it, and you get to learn about what people think about different ideas that you have, about different products that you have, and you know, you get that honest feedback, and you get to talk to people all across the world, and get that knowledge that other people have who have different perspectives and viewpoints than yourself. So this is professional setting. It's a little bit more complicated in the professional setting, but with a brand externally. So let me just describe to you a little bit more about professional setting. So you can be in a business setting. You can be, you know, working for a company. So externally, the difference between externally and internal is externally you get to, you know, market yourself outside of your company, and internally is within the company. So externally, company Facebook pages are great to build to build a professional brand. You know, Disney does a really great job with their Facebook page. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. A lot of people go and visit it, and you know, copy layouts and stuff like that. You know, their their social media presence is ideal for a lot of companies. Internally, to build your professional brand, internal corporate networks are a great way to get your name out there, and you know, voice your ideas. And you know, if you have ideas that are gonna make the company more efficient, you know, better, you're able to post those ideas through internal corporate networks, and you get to you get to make a name for yourself basically through the internal company, internal corporate networks. Just because you're putting an idea out there, you're also putting your name out there with that idea. So people get to know you, and it's a great way to develop a professional brand. A great example of that is is the CEO of Blendtec. It's a small blender blade manufacturing company. The CEO's name is Tom Dickinson, and he used YouTube to gain to build a professional brand. And basically, he took iPhones, iPads, and he tested them against the blades of Blendtec. So he would basically just put iPhones in the blender and blend them. He gained wide popularity through that, and that's how he was able to build a very professional, very big brand for himself. The second component is going to be engaged in a professional setting. Externally, you get to engage with customers and investors, you know, potential investors. You get to get your name out there. You get to get your company's name out there, and you get to put out there what you believe in, and hopefully get some feedback from that. Internally, you get to communicate with your employees. You know, you get to see how they're doing. You get to check up on them, see what their attitudes are. You know, what you can do to make them, you know, a little happier in the workplace and stuff like that. So it's a great way to engage internally throughout the company and externally as well. A great example of that is the CFO of Oracle. He was actually found and hired off of LinkedIn. So it's great to use social media to engage with different audiences in a professional setting. The third rung, learn in a professional setting. Externally, consumer preferences. You get to learn about consumer preferences. So, I mean, you think if you're owning your own business, you get to you're coming out with a new product. You get to understand the consumer's ideas and preferences better. Internally, employee attitudes, you get to understand and see what the employees are thinking about, what you can do to make your company better. You know, if you're at that higher level, you want to know what people at a lower level are thinking about, just because you know, that's how you're going to make the company better. They're the front lines. So a great example of that is the CEO of Alcatel-Lucent. He uses blogs for feedback. So basically, he uses his company blog to come up with different, or to modify his company plans, strategic plans. So he gets feedback from his employees and sees what his employees think of his plan, and then based off of that, he modifies it to better tailor his company. So that's a great way to learn internally and externally through a professional setting. And I'm going to hand it off to Natasha.
So the two articles that we read were polar opposites of one another. The first article talked about the advantages and why having an online presence is advantageous for us. The second one discussed why we should not have a social presence. So I'll kind of go over some of the advantages and disadvantages that were discussed. First, obviously, connectivity and rapid communication are huge on social media. We've all heard a million times that social media is bringing the world closer together. using in the workplace nowadays, because it's a way for employees to talk to each other quickly, faster than sending an email and waiting for a response. It's also a very informal method to discuss with people, so upper management is able to communicate with people lower down in the chain of command, and they can do so efficiently. Targeted advertising is something that a lot of social media websites are using now. Social media is a great way to advertise to people. A lot of people very easily, but targeted advertising specifically refers to targeting people that seem like they'd be more interested in certain things. It can be an advantage, it can also be a disadvantage, because obviously if all of these websites are tracking you and they know that, hey, I'm looking for a really nice hotel in Cancun, then that means that all these places also know that you're going to Cancun, which can be a safety issue. Building your personal brand, this just refers to having something like a LinkedIn or even like a Facebook. It kind of tells a little bit more about who you are versus a resume, which just kind of tells what you've done. Even the pops that we're doing for this class is a great way for employees to get to know you on a more personal level. And then instant access to world events and news. Social media is a great way, especially Twitter. It's been used to talk about news and world events, and it's just a lot of news outlets are also using social media to gain information about people, and they're using that in their studies and things like that. So that's becoming a pretty big media outlet as well. And then the disadvantages kind of fall into two primary categories: safety and privacy concerns. So safety concerns are backlash, cyberbullying, and criminal activity. We've all heard about all of these. Backlash refers to posting something years and years and years ago, could be really controversial, could come back to hurt you later. So people kind of recommend that you should be careful about what you post on social media, because once it's out there, it's out there. Cyberbullying, obviously this is something that's growing. Just because social media is such a huge platform, it gets so many views compared to, oh, that kid said something mean to me on the playground. Now when someone posts it on Facebook, everybody sees it, and it has kind of a snowball effect. Criminal activity is just kind of kids being exposed to inappropriate content on some of these social media websites. Privacy concerns are kind of the bigger ones, and this is kind of what was addressed in the second article that we read. The privacy policies on a lot of these social media websites are very, very unclear. As you can see on this image, that's supposed to be Facebook's privacy policies. Obviously, they're not dictionary-sized books, but the point is they're long, they're antiquated, nobody reads them, nobody understands them. It's as good as not having them there. So you don't really have control over the information that you put out there, because you don't really know what exactly the companies are doing with them. Grad schools as well as companies can also see your social profile, so you should be careful about what you post, because you don't want that to affect admissions or potential job opportunities and things like that. Things like that. And then corporate invasion of privacy, this kind of goes back to the targeted advertising, that these companies are constantly tracking you. They know what you're thinking, or not what you're thinking, they're not that good yet. But they know what you're posting and what you're talking about, so they can kind of keep track of you and monitor you, and that's not always a good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it out to Yoba, and she's going to tell you how to manage your social media presence.
So there's three categories of risk associated with using social media. And the first one is how you manage your social capital. And this risk talks about what are the boundaries between your personal life and your professional life. Once you add your colleagues on Facebook, what are the boundaries that you have so that your personal life doesn't become public at work? And the second one is how you manage your intellectual capital. And this question is tied to intellectual property. So many companies' information are shared on social media, and they can have legal issue raised from those information shared. So, what are the measures that you take for yourself to be in such to not be in such conflict? The third one is how you manage your progress, and this is the key for your social media strategy. If you answer this question very well, because quality is not the same thing as quantity. You can have a lot of Facebook friends, but it doesn't mean that you have a lot of good quality friends. And there is a way to measure your online presence using Google Alert or TweetDeck. And this leads to our series of advice using social media. And the first one is be careful of the content you post, because remember that everything that you post on the internet is there forever. Everybody can see it at any time, and just be conscious of what you post, share, or comment. The second one is use social media for branding and networking. Use social media to showcase your talent, your skills, your performances, your achievement, and use it to connect with your colleagues, your employers, or companies in your career. The third one is you, as entrepreneurs, use social media as a low-cost tool to engage with your customers and get feedback from them. The fourth advice is, as parents, protect your children's life, your personal life, children's personal life. Meaning, use personal websites, use nicknames, restrict access to families and close friends to protect your children so they can decide later if they want to have their life exposed on the internet. And the fifth one is Google yourself. So Google yourself and look at what is shown. Look at if it's conform to what you want people to see about you. If not, you can go back to other profile, your old profile, delete pictures, delete posts. Make sure it's clean. It's like a criminal report because everybody's looking at your online presence to see how you are. And so just make sure it's clean. Don't put picture of you drunk because you never know what will be your career if you don't know if you'll be running for president later. So just make sure you don't have anything compromising.
As far as the quiz, the first question is the 3 rounds of social media are